Hey there guys, EctoMaster. It's Sunday, so it's time for another case file. And this week we're taking a look, of course, at Saints Row the Third. Now, don't mind me here, I'm just doing some random ass missions on one of these saves that I have for this game. But I want to talk about it I know on the channel we never saw the completion of it because I started playing with Sasquatch. Sasquatch. Warhorse. Honestly, he needs to pick a damn name. But he and I, we started playing, and as a, co-op, instead of the single player, which is what I originally started and was having issues recording with, etc. But I have beaten this game. And it's important to beat the game, because what happens in this game does transpire and lead up to everything that happens in Saints Row 4. I always want to call it Saints Row the 4th, and Saints Row 3, and just mix up the whole numbering and everything that they call this. This is, by the way, my sad attempt at making Ecto 1. They unfortunately don't have the classic hearse, so I just went with this remade model. But let's talk about what Saints Row is. If you haven't been playing or haven't played this series up to this point, let me just give a brief rundown, because I haven't played either Saints Row or Saints Row 2. And I have Saints Row 2. But I did play this. Before I played this, I'd never played the others. So I always wanted to, I kind of heard of it, but I never really played it. Basically, you start out as this in Saints Row, and you start out as this random unknown player. And all they call you is player 1, etc. And you rise up through the Saints to become eventually like the leader of the Saints, and then there's things that go down, and I don't know what happens in the first one because I never really played it. I do know there's some things that happen in the second one, definitely involving Johnny Gat, which of course we see what happens in Saints Row the Third, and the conclusion of that in Saints Row 4. But let's get to the point that you are at in this game. The Saints are a international brand. They are all over the place with energy drinks and comic books and all sorts of crap. So much so that nobody is really taking them seriously. They end up robbing a bank, and in the process of doing so, they get caught. When they're caught, they get brought in by this guy named Loren, who wants them to sell pretty much the entire Saints Row image and everything to him. And the Saints would get like diddly squat in the end from it. And you go on, and you're supposed to, you refuse them, and then you land in, I'm trying to remember what this place is. I think it's called Stillwater. I'm not positive. Excuse me if I'm wrong. I'm trying to remember. It's been so long since I played either one right now. Either way, you end up here in this city. It's not little either. And it is balls to the wall insanity. That is the only way to describe it. And of course, with Saints Row 4, it just takes that and just ups it even more so. I absolutely loved playing this game. There is a lot that's wrong with it. Of course, there are bugs and things like that. But kind of like World of Warcraft, where it has a certain aesthetic appeal to it, the bugs, the things that are wrong with it, that is absolutely phenomenal. It helps it, especially more so in Saints Row 4, and one day we'll talk about that. But in this, it is definitely one of the best games I've ever played. Now, a lot of counterparts to this, they like to compare this to Grand Theft Auto. And I remember when Grand Theft Auto was kind of balls to the wall insane. Going right back to Vice City, which was probably, in my opinion, the best Grand Theft Auto game out there ever. I have not played. I have 4, but I have not played it. And 5 is not out on the PC. And if it is out on the PC, I haven't shown any interest in getting it. It's like I got 4 at a really good discount, and I haven't played it. The problem that I had with Grand Theft Auto in recent years is the fact that it's gone from this, hey, it's a little bit wacky and a little bit fun, but We're not really taking ourselves too seriously. And then by the time it got to 4, when you're basically like running around looking like, you know, like if you go and you go to the McDonald's knockoff and just eat hamburgers all day, your character gets fat. Okay? If you go to the gym and work out, your character gets super buff. Oh, okay. It to me, that was like, okay, and now suddenly we are playing The Sims. And I don't want to play The Sims. If I want to play The Sims, I will play The Sims. But I don't want to play The Sims. I want to play Grand Theft Auto. Well, in the end, this game kind of took up the whole off-the-wall, offshoot, and I want that car. Give me that car. I'm going to get that car. Damn it. Damn it. I want the car. I'm going to get it. I will shoot his tires out if I have to. Shoot him in the head. Something. Anyways, Saints Row kind of looked at, the guys who made Saints Row looked at, I'm pretty sure they looked at him and said, hey, these guys are going really serious, but we don't want to be serious. We want to have fun. So they just started doing crazy-ass things in the game, and I for one, think they made the better of it. Better choice in that. And getting and doing a game that is absolutely nothing but pure insanity. To me, that is just great. Because a game should be fun. And I don't mind a game that has story to it. But if you can throw in... If you can not be serious at the same time... I mean, they have DLC for this that is nothing but... it's a science fiction thing. And you get superpowers in it. Which led to Saints Row 4, which you do get superpowers. To which, by the way, after playing Saints Row 4 and then coming back to this... It's like, oh my god, I just want to do whatever. And I can't. But I don't know. To me, there wasn't really anything wrong with this game per se. Per se. That South Park reference. I absolutely love this game. This game was fun. I mean, there was points, when Sasquatch and I were playing that it was like, okay, I gotta stop because I gotta go do stuff. Because can we come back to it? Can we please? I don't want to stop. And that to me is what makes a game a game. If you're sitting there and going, I really don't want to stop. If I stop, I'm not going to. It's not going to sit well with me. I'm going to have to come back. And I think I'll go for the Luchador guy. Let's go for the Luchador guy. Harass his Luchador buddies in the grove. Okay. Sounds easy enough. If you can sit there and go, if I leave now, all I'm going to want to do is play this game. And I'm not going to be happy until I play this game. And so therefore, why am I going to stop? That is a sign. I don't care how long it takes you to beat this game. The fact that if it puts into your mind, I want to go back and play, or I want to continue playing. To be quite honest, I didn't get this game at launch. I was watching Jesse Cox and Wild Crandor play it. And just from watching them play, made me want to get it. So much so that, and I loved it so much that when Saints Row 4 was announced, I did not even hesitate on thinking about getting it. I said, I don't care what it is, as long as it is insane as this game, and they took the insanity of this game, and as I said before, they upped the notch already, big time with it. And I was, oh boy, was I happy with that. I love, again, I'm trying to think back to all the hours that I played this, and I cannot think of one thing that really, made me, I want that car. That one looks like mine, but is in better shape. Excuse me, ho, die and give me your car. Thank you. By the way, the character that I'm supposed to look like in this is supposed to be, here we go, we're going brony time. It's supposed to be Vinyl Scratch, or DJ Pone 3. DJ PON 3. DJ Boney. Anyways, I can't think. The character customization is great. What's hilarious in this game in this one is that you have 3 voices. That is my only complaint. This will be here. It is. Here is my complaint. In this, you have 3 voices that you can choose from. You have like a standard male, which is Troy Baker, which Booker DeWitt. You had a British male and like a thug. I say thug. I'm sorry. I don't mean to say thug. I mean, it's thuggish. It's African American. He sounds African American. I know it. I'm putting wrong connotations. I'm sorry, but that's what the way the guy talks. That's how I think. Then you have the female voices, and you have 3 of those. You have stereotypical, one. What was it? I think it's Jennifer Hale. Then you had a Hispanic chick, and you had a Russian chick, and I loved the Russian chick. The Russian chick was like my favorite. She just goes around and she talks with a Russian accent, and mine is very, very bad. But she goes, and I mean, if you watch the video, we had a Russian hipster girl and Sir Gaga, and that was just absolutely phenomenal. I loved the voice. And then when I got to 4, it was Jennifer Hale. I can't remember. Southern instead of Hispanic, and French instead of Russian, and I was just like, no. Although the French said, "Quiet, it is Hathaway." That was my favorite line of that game thus far. But that would be my only complaint, is that you couldn't keep a consistent character. And it didn't matter. Another thing that I absolutely loved in that, in doing that, they were able to, if you did a character that was, if I played this with the Russian female voice, she would say certain things in certain situations. If I switched it over and played the male Troy Baker one, he would say certain things in certain situations. They wouldn't overlap. And quite a few games will actually have that, where it's just a standard, this is what they say. It doesn't matter who says it. This is what the character says. I'm trying to think of a game that I played recently that kind of did that. And for me, and damn it, I think I just lost the vehicle I just customized. Son of a bitch. I don't want this one. No. Son of a bitch. I just made it look pretty freaking awesome and screwed up the camera. Great. Wonderful. Let's see if I can get it. Anyways, well, what was I? I'm trying to think. There was a game that did that it didn't matter who you played. They said the same thing.
Good girls kick ass.
I'm trying to remember. Let me look at my list of games real quick, because I played both male and female, and the responses were the same. It didn't matter, what your character looked like, what voice you chose. They always said the same exact thing. I'm trying to remember what game it was, and I can't remember for the off the top of my head. I can't actually. You know what it was? It was Saints Row 4. Saints Row 4 actually took that step back. Instead of having, they would have different things that they said, but in the cutscenes, it was always the same. Instead of sometimes changing it up, it was always the same, and that kind of disappointed me a little bit. Even in some of the non-cutscenes, when you just say something, depending on, like, in the very beginning, depending on your choice, they would say a certain line one way or the other. It was never, okay, I choose this, and then they say this line for this character, this line for that character. It was all kind of canned, and it was all the same. And I saw that not just from watching my video, but playing different characters, trying out different voices. It's like when I chose the Russian female voice on this, it was great. I was like, fuck, I can be Russian. Hell yes. For those who don't know, and we're about to play my favorite minigame in this whole series, although in 4 it's way better. But if those who don't know, my favorite accents are actually the British,
That was a great
and that
idea.
extends to not just British, but Irish, Scottish, Australian, the British Empire, quote unquote. And my second favorite are Russian female accents. Those are my favorite ones. And so when I got the opportunity to play a Russian, do a Russian female, I was like, done, book it, I'm doing it. Same reason why I liked the Draenei in World of Warcraft, it's the accent, assuming. But even in 4, they dropped that whole, hey, you can be either one, and it doesn't matter which one you pick. They all say something different. No, they all say the same. Nobody says anything really different, except for now and then somebody will say something different, but not. The personalities aren't different in either one. I mean, I enjoyed this game for what it was, and I really enjoyed this game. And I would, if you haven't played it, I recommend it. Get it, play it. It is a fantastic game. Fantastic game, and that was supposed to be the end to a fantastic series. No, just to get it and play it, because it is beyond fantastic. It is phenomenal. It is probably one of the best games I've ever played. And this alone should be reason why. Here I am getting hit by cars to get money, and the more I'm hit, the more money I make, and then I start doing shit like that, and then at one point I get over $200,000 in this insurance fraud just from the way that I got hit. That being said, in Saints Row 4 you get superpowers, and oh my god, holy crap, it is a fantastic thing, because then you think, yeah, I'm flying now. You get the superpowers of that, you are literally flying all over the place. So look at that, just from Battle of $300,000 for that. Fantastic, absolutely love it. This game, I couldn't say enough good about it. It is excellent. It is phenomenal. I highly recommend it. This should have been on everybody's list. The joke that Saints Row 4 had, and again, we'll come back to Saints Row 4 once I'm still playing it, believe it or not, because there's been so much that has gone on. Sasquatch and I were playing it together, so I was waiting on him. And we'll get back into it once we have more time. But the one thing that I loved most, there was a GIF that was made, and it had a shelf, and it had 2 video games on there from last year, and it said Game of the Year, and it had The Last of Us, and it had BioShock Infinite side by side for Game of the Year. And come flying across the room that knocks both of them off is Saints Row 4. Because these games, they took the seriousness that was in Grand Theft Auto and said, dubstep gun. Superpowers. Body sculpting that makes you look like a certain person. Yeah. I mean, it is utterly insane. I love this game. I've said that this entire thing, and that's because I just don't know what else to say. I wanted to do a fair review on this, but I can sit here and go, there are things to it, like this whole chop shop and assassination, and I never did it. I never did, because there was so much to actually do besides just that. Heck, just running around the game and shooting up people. That was way better than anything that I did in Grand Theft Auto at any point and any time. And to be honest, this is about all I've got for this, guys. We'll leave it on that, with her posing sexily. And until then, I will see you guys next time.